So, hello everybody and welcome to our number 8 session of Inspirational Transformation Session. My name is Eric Depp. I am French and I now live in Malaysia. And I am an Herbalife distributor for the past 30 years. 30. I lived in over 15 countries in the world, and I have been a pioneer in 13 of them, starting the Herbalife business. Now, my objective of this session, based on my experience as an independent entrepreneur and also human being, is to inspire you to make some changes step by step in your living in order to become the best version of yourself every day. And this is why I created what I call ITS. Now, why do I do it on Monday? Now, because it's the beginning of the week. Now, apparently, so we have to start somewhere, somehow. So we start on Monday. Now, why we do it in the morning? Well, because according to me, there is no better time. This is a start of the day. And when you start good, then the rest of the day, or maybe the rest of the week, has a good chance to be incredible. So a good start in a day will make your day and the week extraordinary. And that's what we want. Now, why do we call it inspirational more than motivational? All right? And I can tell you, from my experience, the difference is enormous. All right? Let me explain to you. Motivation would come from me to pump you up, to pump you, to motivate you, to push you maybe. So all is basically in my ability of persuasion, of speaking, of motivating you, and maybe you will take action of what I mentioned to you until your motivation is gone. Because I'm not anymore with you or behind you to push you. And I call this an external forces, okay? Now, inspiration is completely different, as it is you, the main person, to act upon what you hear from me. Now, what I do here is to share some advices that, according to my own experience, did really help me. And then from your side now, if it makes sense to apply it, then it is you, the main player, to put it in action because of your strong desire coming from inside you, not from outside like me. So I call this the internal force inside you, okay? So please understand that what I will share with you only come from my own experience. And you do not have to believe one word of what I say, because honestly speaking, it is my experience, my own experience. But you can be sure that it will be the truth. And maybe in the future, some of the same events may or may not come to you or happen to you. And therefore, you can adjust, adapt, and act accordingly because of what we're sharing today. Now, my goal of this session and episode is to share again my experience in order for you to be ready to face some situation of life, to be ready to act. Why not to be ready to live with abundance and energy, ready to make and have a productive day, a productive week, a productive month, and why not an incredible productive year, to become more effective and what I call transform your mindset into a very powerful machine and tuning into happiness, greatness, action, kindness for a reality of every day. So let's get started and enjoy, please, the next 20 to 30 minutes that we're going to have today. Now, how many of you really believe that time is money? But how many of you understand that the real power is about time management? Time management. In the next 20 to 30 minutes, I will show you how time management can completely change your world and situation inside and outside of you. After these 20 minutes, you will know exactly how you can control better your time efficiently, but also productively, to become what I call the person you always wanted to be. So let me explain to you now about time management. Now, how well do you manage your time? That's a question. Maybe like many people, the answer is not really positive. Sometimes we might feel overloaded of work, often by too much work, or maybe the day looks like too short, resulting into stress. And we all know we could manage better our time and more effectively. All we know that. But it can be difficult to identify sometimes the mistake we are making in to how we could improve. We make, all of us, mistake, but how can we improve that? On the opposite side, when we manage well our time, we are exceptionally productive. Really. Less stress. Really. We do more things. And that makes a real difference sometimes in our career, resulting in what? In more happiness. That's what is happening. So let's understand today how to avoid of the current time management mistake so we can be more effective. And there are really 10 mistakes that we all do, all of us basically. But how can we avoid them? I hope that you are ready for that, okay? Now, number one mistake that we basically all do, we forget to have what we call a to-do list. What to do every day? A to-do list. If sometimes you feel you have forgotten to do something, it's probably because you're not using a to-do list. That in order to keep you on top of your day, when you have a to-do list, you're on top of everything because you know exactly. To have an effective to-do list, in order to have an effective to-do list, you need to prioritize the task on your list. And the way you do it is simple. Some of you will say, okay, this is what I have to do. A, B, C, D, E, F. It's okay. Some of you will say, no, this is what I have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. But you need to prioritize the task that you have to do. In order to use correctly that to-do list, each task that you have to do must be precisely transcript precisely with the details that you want to do. If not, what happens is you might procrastinate because it's not detailed enough and you might forget. If the task is too big, that what you have to do, break it down in small steps, but all the steps need to be specific. I hope that you understand that. Number one mistake is not to have a to-do list. Number two, not setting a personal goal is a second mistake of time management. A goal in time, as an example, it is essential to set a personal goal well in order to manage your time well. So I repeat that. It's very important to have a personal goal well done, well designed, well detailed in order to manage your time well. Because your goal gives you your destination and the vision to work towards the task. When you know where you want to go, you can manage your priorities. Your time and resources to get there, you can manage all of that. I repeat that for you to understand. When you have the vision, when your goal is details oriented, when you know what to do, you can manage your priorities, you can manage your time, you can manage your resources, and anything else do not become a distraction for you. So number two mistake that people do, not having a detailed goal to set in time. Third mistake is about prioritizing. And let me drink a bit. Sometimes it's hard to know how to prioritize, especially when you are facing a lot of urgent tasks, you know. However, it is essential to learn how to prioritize your task effectively if you want to manage your time better. And remember, what is urgent and what is important. What is urgent is not important. What is important is not urgent. That will help you to understand the difference between urgent activities and important activities. And this way, you can overcome the tendency to focus on the urgent instead of the important. You don't have to worry. We will elaborate later on quickly that difference between urgent and important. But the point is here is learn about prioritizing, okay? Number four, mistakes. Mistake number four is not understanding, is about understanding the management of the distraction. Day after day, we can lose hours because of distraction, like email, like chat, like phone, like call, like distraction prevent us from achieving. And that, by the way, distract us to be 100% engaged in the task. If you want to gain control of your day and do your best work, it's important to know to minimize the distraction. It's important to manage the interruptions effectively so you don't get distracted. Remember, the world will not fail without you. Make sure to improve your concentration. Even so, some easy distraction come up and control you. They try to control you. Maybe your email, your phone, your messaging, your chats. Try to understand and manage your distraction. That's number 4. Number 5 of the time management mistakes. We call it, it's a big word, procrastination. This is happening when you put off tasks that you should be focusing on right now. And when you do that, usually you feel guilty that you haven't started. You know, oh, I will do that later. And unfortunately, later never comes. The question is procrastination a problem in your life? Is it recurrent? Is it happening often or not? That is a question. If it is, you really need to learn to beat up procrastination. And one of the strategies is to tell yourself that you are really going to start on the project for 10 minutes instead of, oh, I'm going to work it out on 3 hours time. No, start the project not until it's finished, but just for a while, instead of having high expectation and make yourself overwhelmed and anxious to say, I need to finish it up in 3 hours. Devote a small amount of time, that's all. Break down this large project maybe into manageable steps. So this way you will see the step by step, so you can complete small chunks at a time. And trust me, this way you will feel less overwhelmed, and that way you will overcome procrastination. It's a step by step first, small step at a time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do something else. The next mistakes, and that the number 6 mistakes is about taking too much on your plate. Overwhelmed, anxious, too much on my plate. Maybe you are a person that has difficulty to say no to people. And if you are, maybe. Therefore, you have to take not that many projects or commitment. Learn how to say no. Too much on your plate, too much commitment. And that can lead you to poor performance, to stress, wasting time, too much, overwhelmed. Or maybe you are somebody that insists to control all the work, and therefore only you can do. Nobody else can do that, only you. If this is the case, you're going to find yourself busy and not achieving all the tasks. Trust me on that. Either way, taking on too much is a poor use of your time. So learn the art of saying yes to the person, but no to the task. Yes to the person, no to the task. That skill will help you to maintain a good feeling with the group, and then also make sure to stay cool under the pressure. I hope that this is clear for you guys. Yes to the person, no to the task. Number 6 mistake. Number 7, another mistake on time management is striving to be busy. You want to be busy. You're busy. Some people like to be busy, you know. they put their deadline yesterday instead of tomorrow, as soon as they can. They have lots of emails to answer. They have lots of files everywhere. They do not pay attention to the world around them. And all need to be fast, with adrenaline, with quick. The problem is that addiction to being busy means also that you may not be that much effective. And that can lead you to more stress. So honestly, try to slow down. Don't be busy to be busy. Look at your time management. Mistake number 8. Another mistake for managing better your time is, and here I may talk for women, multitasking. The truth is that you can take 20 to 40% more time to finish the list of jobs when you are multitasking. That means doing more than one stuff at a time. It's going to take you 20 to 40% more time to achieve the same things. Compare with completing the small task, in sequences. Can you believe that? You have a list of tasks, you go one by one in sequence, you go 20 to 40% more faster than doing everything at the same time. One of the results of doing multitasking is also it may come to poor execution. Maybe frustration because of your lack of concentration. So the best thing is to forget about multitasking, forget about that, and instead focus on one task. It will produce a higher quality work for you. That's a mistake number 8 that many people do. Number 9, in managing your time, remember to take breaks. What do you mean take breaks? Yes, taking breaks. Especially when you work with a deadline. You might think, oh, no. It's better to work 8 to 10 hours a day from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the evening, no 12 hours straight. Let me tell you, it's impossible for anyone to focus that long and to produce a high quality work without giving the brain and the body a little bit of rest and recharge. So don't take the breaks as a wasting time. Not at all. They effectively helps you to recharge, to regenerate. If it's hard for you to stop working when you have scheduled a task, then do this. Schedule some breaks for yourself. Maybe you put an alarm clock, a reminder, do something else. Every 2 or 3 hours, do a 2 to 5 minutes of relaxation, of meditation, or sleeping, a 5-minute sleep. Every 2 to 3, every 1 to 2 hours. I do not know, depending on how you feel. But don't get on a task for the next 12 hours without distracting your brain for 2 to 3 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes. I do not know. Learn how to know your body. And that's a mistake number 10. Another mistake in managing your time is the scheduling of your task at the wrong time. I repeat that. Scheduling the task at the wrong time. Maybe you are a morning person. Maybe your energy is in the morning, or maybe your energy is in the evening. Make sure that you understand your rhythm and the difference of your focus for your own productivity. Your energy during the day is when? Morning, evening, lunchtime? Why? Because this way, you can schedule your task when you are fully energized, making the best use of your time by scheduling high value work during your peak time with a high energy, and scheduling other not important tasks when you have a lower energy. So understand your clock, your own body clock, and schedule the task at the right time. If you cannot read in the nighttime, don't schedule to read in the nighttime. Schedule it in the morning time. If you cannot do the gym in the morning time, doing it in the afternoon or in the evening when you have full energy. You don't want to go to the gym and sleeping. I hope that everybody understand that. Last and not least, that's very important to understand, your body clock. One of the most effective ways of improving your productivity is also to recognize and rectify your time management mistakes. And when you overcome these mistakes, the 10 that we have talked about, it will make a huge difference in your productivity, in your happiness, and in your stress. Last and not least, let's understand that using your time effectively, not just efficiently, is very important. And that comes with the urgent versus important. Here is what I need to tell you. Important activities have an outcome that leads to the achievement of your goals. I repeat that. Listen carefully. Important activities have an outcome result that leads to the achievement of your own goals. Urgent activities demand immediate action and often are associated with the achievement of someone else's goal. Urgent demand immediate attention, but it's help the goal of somebody else. So according to you now, what is the most important to you? Important is not, is it important or urgent? What is the most high value for you? Your own goal or somebody else's goal? Your family or somebody else's family? Important or urgent? Remember that. Eisenhower, who was a president of the United States, said, what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. This quote will help you to make the right choice when it comes to make a decision for your time management. Now, to conclude for today, by avoiding the mistake and looking carefully at your time management, your efficiency and effectiveness in no time will be improving drastically. In no time, if you pay attention. So start now to manage your time. And then I can tell you, you can start your day in full and positive spirit. Let me ask you, what if what you have heard today, you would start every day to put it in practice? Do you think that it will enhance your life and make it more successful? Of course, yes. So I challenge you this week to put in practice some of my suggestions and create your own way how to apply it every day. And I guarantee you that at the end of this week, you will be a different person. Remember, we're all human. We are not tree. So we can improve and change when we are ready. So the question is, you are ready. Act now. So let's start to implement. Let's live a life full of health and wealth. And I will see you next week into my next episode of our inspirational transformation session. Again, I want to thank you for listening today. My name is Eric Depp. I am here for you. Thank you again. Have a fantastic week, and let's make sure to manage our time the best we can for effectiveness, efficiency, happiness, and less stress. Have a great week. See you on next week. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.